So today is June 19th, 2020, which is of course the release date of the highly anticipated sequel to The Last of Us, which was an amazing game, the original I'm talking about. The sequel, well, it seems like a lot of people don't like it. Certain narrative decisions that they made were not very much appreciated by the fans, and I'm just gonna leave it at that, because I read the spoilers months before the game came out, so I pretty much know what happened. I actually went on YouTube and looked up the cutscenes, and I'm like, holy shit, did they really do that? And I'm not gonna say what happened, I'm not gonna be a dick and spoil the whole game for people that want to play it, because that would be a real dick move. Remember when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out on PC and a whole bunch of console gamers were putting the bio in their Twitter, a spoiler for Red Dead Redemption 2? I'm not even going to say that spoiler, even though the game came out over a year ago. Still, there are people who haven't played it, and I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, people were spoiling the ending of Red Dead Redemption 2, console fanboys, so they can ruin the experience for PC gamers. It's just so stupid the way people act online. I guess I'm the last person that should be saying that, because I've done plenty of stupid shit on the internet over the years, but at least I didn't spoil game endings just to be a dick. But as far as The Last of Us 2 goes, I'm pretty sure what happened was that an employee with Naughty Dog spoiled the game and leaked it to someone in 4chan, and it spread all over the internet. I'm not exactly sure the details, but I do know that the leaks were accurate. People should not say, oh, those leaks are not accurate, they're not true. Well, they seem pretty accurate now, don't they? But in case you're wondering, no, I did not buy The Last of Us 2 because I refuse to give Naughty Dog my money. They don't deserve it. And it has nothing to do with the spoilers and the leaks and all that shit. I made my decision way back in September when they announced that The Last of Us 2 will not have any online multiplayer. I already made my decision at that point because I loved Factions multiplayer in The Last of Us 1, and as amazing as the campaign was for The Last of Us 1, I spent most of my time playing Factions. Because The Last of Us 1 has an amazing campaign, like from start to finish, it was a masterpiece in my opinion. But at the same time, it's a linear third-person action-adventure game that really doesn't have much value after 2 or 3 playthroughs, unless you're really into like playing at the highest difficulty and getting all those trophies, but I never gave a fuck about any of that shit. Usually I play through a campaign once, and that's it. Like, I love a good single player, but there's only so much I can do with it before I get bored. And that's what happened with The Last of Us 1. I played the single player campaign, loved it so much, but then I went straight to multiplayer because I didn't want to play through the campaign all over again. I mean, I eventually did. I did a second playthrough of The Last of Us, but I don't plan on doing a third one. I mean, maybe in 10 years I will when I feel like being nostalgic, but it's a linear campaign. Like, I'll play through multiple campaigns of Mass Effect because you can make different choices and have different outcomes and stuff like that. But with a linear campaign, it just gets really, after the first playthrough, you pretty much experience the entire game. So I got most of my value from The Last of Us off of multiplayer. Because when I played through the same levels in the single player campaign, it's like, yeah, I've done this before. Why would I want to do it again? But with multiplayer, every match feels unique because you're playing against different people each time. So when Naughty Dog says, oh yeah, The Last of Us 2, we're not going to do multiplayer, I'm like, okay, go fuck yourself. I was gonna give you my $60, but now you get nothing. And that's exactly what I did with Doom Eternal. I love Doom 2016, has an awesome campaign, but I spend most of my time playing that game online, which is the gameplay that you see right now. I know some people didn't like the multiplayer for Doom 2016, but I loved it, and I still do. So when I found out Doom Eternal didn't have any multiplayer, it's crazy, because I was so close to paying $60 for that game, because I love Doom 2016 so much. I'm like, of course I'm gonna get the sequel, because the original is so awesome. But thank God I found out that the game doesn't have any multiplayer. I know it has one game mode, but one game mode is unacceptable in my opinion. When Doom 2016 had 12 or 13 game modes, this one only has one, and from what I hear, it's not even that good, whatever it's called, battle mode, I don't know. All I know is I'm not buying your shitty game. Because the sequel is supposed to improve upon everything about the original, and when you take out basic features that the original game had and expect me to buy it anyway? No, go fuck yourself. I mean, with id Software, they were just trying to cut corners. I don't think they had any malicious intent, but with Naughty Dog, they're a bunch of greedy cocksuckers. Because Naughty Dog isn't taking multiplayer out of The Last of Us, they're just gonna sell it to you as a separate game, so you get to pay $120 for one game. I mean, I guess there's a chance they can make it free to play, but either way, I'm not buying your game that doesn't have any multiplayer in it, because that's what I loved about the first one, and you make a sequel I expect to be better than the original. In the case of The Last of Us, it doesn't even seem like they even got the single player right. So I guess I really dodged a bullet. I'm just gonna erase The Last of Us 2 from my memory. I'm gonna forget that that game even exists, because I saw a couple cutscenes, and the writing honestly felt like a fan fiction. Like, none of it makes any sense. It's not believable. And sure, from a gameplay perspective, it looks like they made a lot of significant improvements from the last game. And the same can be said about Doom Eternal. But people are trying to use that as an excuse because, oh, see? Look what they did. They took out multiplayer and the gameplay is so much better. Okay. That's funny. I thought a sequel was supposed to be better than the original automatically. Like, that's the whole point of a sequel, is to improve upon what the original made so great and make it even better. But no, they took out the multiplayer. That's the only reason why the gameplay is better. Not because they have more technology at their disposal, because remember, The Last of Us 1 was made on the PS3, and with the PS4, they have a lot more technology to work with. So of course the gameplay should be better, because they have a lot more power to work with. How is that an excuse to take away multiplayer? To me, it's unacceptable and a fucking disgrace.